Hi guys, David Zadov with me tonight is 8 06 2025, and we're going to talk about remapping Texas, which is a hot issue now. David, what you gotta say on the matter? Let's start with you.
Well, uh, gerrymandering is bad. Obviously, I'm going to start out with that. Gerrymandering is bad. It disproportionately benefits Republicans, and it's generally unfair for voters. It underrepresents certain groups of voters, and it is undemocratic by nature, right? Because it
But
separates
every
people.
10 years they do it according to procedure usually. Let's start with
Yes,
that. Because
yes,
after census,
yeah.
they do it because demography and contingency of people living in certain areas changes. So they got to accommodate those changes. So that's why they do remapping. But that's not the only reason both parties doing that. Let me start with the example of state of Illinois where and remind you that in 2002 Barack Hussein Obama was trying to
Please
get
don't say don't do that. Now
hold
you
on a
sound
sec.
like
No,
like
no, no.
Trump. You you want to sound
One
like Trump,
second.
right?
One second. That's
Barack Hussein
important.
Obama.
It was done. I mean,
Okay.
okay, but that's his full name. So Barack Obama
Okay,
was
but you're
trying.
saying Hussein to instill like an emotional response
No,
to
no,
his
it's just
base.
his
Yes,
full
you are.
name. I can say Donald
You
J.
say
Trump.
You do not say
Can
Donald
we not?
Jonathan Trump. You don't say
Can be?
Joseph
I
R.
can.
Biden.
I can
Like,
say. Listen, do not. That's his full name. He used it, by the way. He's never hesitated to use it. Also, so I'm trying to do not go into all those details because it distracts everyone. It's not the main point. The main point is that Barack
okay.
Obama was trying to get into Congress first on the House. On 2002, he was going through districts that were heavily African American, and he didn't succeed in defeating another African American candidate. He was destroyed, by the way, in those elections. It was huge margins. He didn't win because for voters, according to New York Magazine, not New Yorker, but New York Magazine, he was not easily he was not received as a person by the time who can represent African American community. He was pretty much detached, according to their opinion, from the real problem of African American community in Chicago in that district in that time. So what they did, they got up onto Sears Tower. I'm almost using the exact language of New York Magazine, and they were remapped districts in order for Senate elections in 2004 to include the district where Obama going to go through as a candidate, white and heavily Jewish neighborhoods, and he won. And he became, I think, youngest senator in history by that procedure, with help of this procedure. So the point, what I'm trying to make is like that. The state of Illinois also, we know that it has out of 17 congressional districts, Republicans win usually only in 3 of them. Other 14 are won regularly by Democrats. But on presidential elections, last one, Trump got 44% of the vote. I know that you can say that presidential elections are different from congressionals from locals, for local elections are different from governor elections of the state. So it's all different things. And I agree with you, but still, state of Illinois was doing that many, many times, and not in procedural times, like not every 10 years, but also in time that was not consistent with the census cycle as it's supposed to be done. So it was not, we have another state that doing this not according to regular thing, but make it normal to do it anytime they want to do it.
Mm.
So when we have that case, we can blame Republican in different state that they're trying to do the same thing. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the only
Okay.
point I'm making.
Very nice point. Can I ask you what the point was of the whole Obama spiel?
To get elected to Senate.
Okay, what was the point of all this saying that he got majorly beat and how the black people in those areas did not
No,
sympathize with him?
that's
Like
why
it's
he was marginally beaten. It was just so in order for him to get elected, they
yeah, yeah.
had to redraw.
Here's the thing.
No.
I don't support gerrymandering, whether it is Republicans or Democrats doing it.
Okay.
I do not want any gerrymandering to happen, and I
Clear.
don't want lines to be
Fair.
redrawn unless it's along geographic borders. I do not want the demographics to be taken into account. I do not want the political affiliation to be taken into
But it
account when they're
cannot
drawing
hold on.
lines.
But demographic cannot be not taken into account.
Why
It's
not?
supposed to be there because that's the nature of elections in Congress. A certain amount of voters are basically entitled to a representative. So if, for example, in this particular district, less voters than it's supposed to be for them to elect a representative, depends on is it a house or it's a senate, but if it's less than supposed to be, then it should be increased. For example, the district should be increased in borders. Borders should be moved to include more voters for them to be eligible to elect a representative.
Dude, okay. Everywhere in the United States is covered by a area which has a representative, right? Everywhere is already covered by a representative zone. There are no like blind spots.
Of
Okay,
course not.
everything is covered. So
That's right.
you don't need to include, like, it's not about inclusion. Everyone's already under an area. So nobody's like unrepresented unless you live in the territory.
No, that's not
right?
the point, David. You didn't
Okay.
get it. The point
Okay.
is like that. In order for area to be eligible, to district to be eligible to elect a representative, it gotta have certain number of people.
Yes.
If in this particular district, number of people changed on both sides, by the way, change or increasing or decreasing, then border of that area should be changed.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that the population shouldn't be taken into account. I'm sorry. When I say demographics, I'm not trying to say like literally every single demographic. But I do think demographics, as in like race, gender, and age, these should not be taken into account, right? And that is quite often what happens when you gerrymander a district, is that you will divide it along racial lines.
True. And also democracy, and also to make your point like even stronger, democracy is not about that we trying to get elected, gotta choose who's gonna vote for us. And those who are gonna vote for us gotta elect us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the main point of democracy. It's a power of the people, not power of the government to choose people who are gonna vote for the government.
Yes.
Basically, that right. Of course it is. But if it's already by default normal in America, why should we have any complaint against Governor Abbott trying to remap the districts?
Because it's undemocratic. That's because it's
But
traditional in America. Okay. It
It's
doesn't make
done
it
in
right.
America.
It doesn't make it right. Like slavery was also done in America at some point. Like it was fine with the Constitution. Like it's not like it was an institutional thing. Like it's done, man. We can't do anything about it. It's already there. Come on, guys. Like what do you mean?
No, your comparison is not okay.
Why is it not okay?
Because there were certain reasons why North wanted to abolish slavery and why South didn't want to abolish slavery. So that was a reason for civil war. And after civil war, it was done on a federal national level. I mean, it was done before, and that was the start of civil war because some groups or group of state didn't want to subscribe to that changes that were already implemented by North. So that created secession. They declared confederation, and they started the right.
Okay,
so that's a different story. It's completely different issue with slavery. But with remapping the districts, it's kind of done for different reasons. Some of them are democratic reasons, by the way. Some of them are not. But both parties are involved in this. It's not something exclusively done by Republicans and not something that's exclusively done by Democrats. So now our argument is only about what party are more involved in this. But it doesn't matter really.
Why is it not
both of them involved. If Democratic side would be clear and innocent of this and saying we don't do it, but they doing this, but they also doing this.
Okay, by your logic, the Allies in World War II were just as bad as the Nazis because they also bombed civilian centers. Like, there's clearly a more like obvious.
I have to break it down. I got to break it up. I have to break it down. But according to political realism, it is political realism. When you bomb civilian centers in order to achieve certain goals in the war, it doesn't matter what color you're wearing and what ideology you have, because ideology is not important, and moral values are not important in political realism. So when we're talking about achievement of the goal, to deliver aim that you started war with, everybody equal. I mean, everything like axis of evil, that's a point of narrative, but it has nothing to do with political realism. Okay?
Okay, then.
So let's leave this point alone. I'm just saying, because according to my logic here, if both parties are involved in that, how can one party say to other party, you're not right? Oh, you're also not right.
You can't be completely blind to what is happening in front of you. If one party is a worst offender and is obviously a worst offender and is not trying to hide it, then you don't have to refrain from saying this party in particular is bad. Not to say that the Democrats don't do it, but this party is the worst when it comes to gerrymandering.
It's
I'm
worse,
sorry.
sir. It's not the worst. It's worse,
And
more
also I have
worse than Democratic Party, I
I have
mean.
to say that most of the gerrymandering done by the Democratic Party is as a response to Republican gerrymandering in the same area.
That's not always like that.
I'm not saying it's always
I
like that.
just
That's why I
gave you
said
Obama
most.
example exactly to
Anyways,
illustrate that it's not
yeah.
necessarily. It's not necessarily. And again, state of Illinois doing this a lot of times for different reasons.
I'm not even denying that it happens the same way the Republicans do it. I literally just said most of the time. There are examples that you could find where Democrats did it completely unwarranted. I'm not denying this.
And answer,
Like,
by the way,
yeah,
on all those Abbott things that he's doing right now with civil arrest order, they're trying to get those deputies back for voting to get a quorum, and they already enacted the thing, so they're gonna be eventually they're gonna come back and they're gonna face penalties. Or I don't know how it's gonna be done, but well, they gotta preserve a quorum anyway for certain things. For certain things they don't need to, but for certain things they do need. Eventually they're gonna get into chamber, and maps gonna be redrawn anyway.
okay.
But so it's all that demarche. I don't know the what's the end like. What's the purpose of it? They cannot forever prevent that voting anyway.
Okay. So let me give you a story. From 2019 to 2021, Republican state senators in Oregon walked out 3 separate times to block the advancement of healthcare bills,
But eventually it was
abortion bills.
enacted. But it was enacted
No,
eventually, no?
yeah, because they eventually. Actually, I don't know if they were enacted. It happened again in 2023. Uh, but they did walk out, and there were a series of walkouts. And walkouts have been happening since 1870, and not one time has anyone ever been arrested for it.
It's civil
Now,
order.
to
It's not
send
arrest. It's civil arrest order. So
no,
they're gonna be taken to chamber.
they sent out a warrant for their arrest. Whatever you want to call it, civil arrest, whatever, it is a warrant for arrest. So you're literally telling the authorities that you must arrest this person when you have the opportunity
And take him to the chamber.
and
Let
take it
them
to
vote.
whatever. Like take it to the police station. It's a warrant for the arrest. So
Okay.
authorities have
Yeah,
jurisdiction.
fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
Never in the history of America has something like this happened, where 51 politicians who were democratically elected were marked for being arrested. This has literally never happened, and this should not happen. And I don't even know what to say. Like, what else is there to say? I want to hear what you
Yeah.
have to say.
Can you explain to me the end goal of it? Like eventually they're gonna be in the chamber. With arrest, without arrest, there are going to be other issues presented for voting, and they will have to be in chamber in order to get what they need. Because sometimes they need something. Because if they're not working, they're not going to be reelected. Because they got to represent communities that elected them.
Yeah,
And they,
it's not. There have been instances where people walked out and then the state barred them from running for re-election, right? That has happened.
even that. No, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about that. It's I think it's too much. I'm saying that they gotta get into chamber anyway. And they gotta vote on different law initiatives. They gotta protect the community that send them. They send them for a reason. They got elected. It's election campaign. It's spend a lot of money, and it involves it's politics. They don't want to stay in politics. Only by not doing something and deserting the duties, even for rightful reasons, it cannot be forever. They can walk out like for one session, for two sessions, for three. But eventually, that body of legislature will decide the question that's important for their communities. They got to present quorum. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
in
but
the end,
doesn't
they will have to
justify arrest?
vote. The
Yeah.
quorum gonna be there, and anyway they're gonna redraw the map.
Yes. So why are they being arrested?
to do it faster.
No, no,
No?
that's not what you do, and not to do it faster. That is seizing of power. That is borderline insurrection, right? You are,
No, no. The assembly, I think it was state assembly of Texas, right? They have the right to do what they do now. They need quorum. And
okay, first of
also,
all,
they enacted the rule that anybody who isn't there in the chamber cannot leave without permission now, also. Because they need to enact stuff. They got to work. They have a lot of legislative work. It's got to be done. Listen, they got to have a means of discipline, how to inflict on people responsibility. Listen, that's you were elected for. You come and you vote. You can vote against, but you cannot
okay.
just not come
If you want to
constantly.
say what you were elected for, the people who are voting for the Democrats in question are happy with them walking out because they don't want this stuff to get passed. They don't want like
Maybe you're right. By the way,
yeah,
that's a valid
like
point. I don't know. Listen, it's gonna continue to happen anyway. It's gonna be done in the Republican states. It's gonna be done even now. What Katie Hochul and Gavin Newsom and Pritzker are saying that we're gonna do the same thing now again in response to Trump,
yeah.
that not give them an advantage. But in Texas, which is heavily Republican state, by the way, it's kinda like reasonable for them to withdraw. I'm saying they have more Republicans in state than Democrats, so it's got to be more Republican representative in House. I think I
There's
think
already
that
more Republican representatives in the House. What do you mean?
because they think that by
In Texas, there's
2026 it's not
already
going to be the picture.
okay, but that's the democratic process. What do you
True,
mean?
true.
Like that doesn't justify rigging the democratic process. Like, what are you talking about that? Like, can you listen to yourself speak?
It's
Please,
politics.
like,
Listen, that's
no, it's
the
not.
art of possible. It's art of possible.
That
It's
first of all,
possible to redraw maps. Possible to get more representative Republicans from Texas as possible. Possible. Why not do it? Everybody doing this.
who's everybody?
Democrats, the other side. That's everybody. Republicans
Yeah,
and Democrats are
The
everybody.
Democrats doing it 30% of the time, most of the time in response to Republicans.
Doesn't matter.
Not
They
everyone's
make it
doing it,
normal.
man.
We come back to the previous
No, it's
previous
going
point.
circular, but
Yeah,
you're
it's a
wrong.
circle. It's a
So
circle.
I
Because
can
why?
keep going
Because they
over
do
this.
it, making them. What if they did it? They made it legal already.
Yes, it is legal, but
It's
the law
legal.
does not dictate morality, and the law does
Exactly.
not dictate how to.
Oh, oh. Thank you. That's political realism again. So now we have a situation when it's according to both side of partisan thing. It's fine. We can do it.
With that, when you were trying to run a country domestically, when you were dealing with domestic politics, which the goal of is to create the best possible life for your citizens and the most
True.
secure life for your citizens,
True.
you do not deal in political realism.
True.
You
Oh,
deal in morality.
also amazing point. Very good. Agreed. Because I was just thinking that political realism is basically paradigm of international relations. So, not valid point on my side. You caught me. Very good. Now, still, in politics, moral is something different, especially in American domestic politics. I have to remind you that if to illustrate the point, you have senators very well known and very, I don't want to mention the name because I respect that guy, who just recently got sentenced for huge case of corruption and stuff in one of democratic states close
What?
to New
The
York.
New Jersey? Oh,
Yes,
Menendez, right? That's his name?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't want to say it.
Why do you respect him?
He's done a lot of stuff, very important stuff, being senator.
Israel for Israel.
Not only Israel,
Mm.
a lot of important things. A
Not
lot of
only
important
Israel
things.
though.
He's been a friend to Israel, true, but not only to Israel. And he was
Mm.
lobbying without registering as a lobbyist interest of Egypt. Also, I think they got some list of what he
Okay,
was
you have
doing.
not given me one reason to respect this guy. I'm sorry. Like in this whole time you talked about it, you've given me no reasons to
No, you're
respect him.
saying that. No, I do.
Yeah.
You're saying that
Like
he didn't ever vote for a law that you support.
no,
Hundred.
no, I'm sure he has, but that is the bare minimum. And also, you're still corrupt and a lobbyist. Like at
Lobbyist
the end of the
doesn't mean
day,
corrupt.
yes, it does.
No, no, no.
I'm sorry.
Lobby is legal thing. Corruption is not legal thing. I'm sorry. When you
Okay, yes,
lobbyist, you
I'm sorry.
register, you say, I am lobbying for someone.
By
Yeah,
American law, lobbying is not corruption in the eyes of the American law.
yeah.
In the eyes of objective reality of corruption,
There's a
it is
difference, David.
corruption. Like, I'm sorry.
David, no. I heard that before, that argument
Yeah.
before from other people. I want to respond. That's important.
Okay.
Because corruption, and when you get the money or services and pocket it. Lobbyism, and when you get the money for your electorate. That's basics. So if you're a senator and some lobbyist approach you and saying, listen, we need you to vote for this law or against this law. What they give you, they don't give you money in your pocket. They don't send you first class ticket to some place. That's a bribe. What they do, they build a library in your district. They build a hospital in your district. They do foundation in your district to support small business. That's what they do. They help you be reelected, benefiting the society.
Okay,
That's the difference.
That's one instance. That's one case. I'm sorry, not instance. That is one scenario that lobbying can result in, but most of the time it does result in the direct financing or maybe indirect financing of their campaign.
Indirect, because bribe is different.
But it is their money. It is their money going into their
I don't
campaign.
think so.
So it is a bribe in the end.
I
So
don't
you can
think
call it whatever you
so.
want.
No, there's a difference between lobbyism and corruption.
And also, the money from the lobbyists, I don't understand the whole process, right? I'm not an expert in lobbying, but the money does end up in the hands of the politicians eventually. And they end up buying mansions and private jets and golf courses. Like
that's a bribe.
Yes, it's a bribe, and that's what lots of lobbying amounts to. Like in the end, that's what it gets to. So, yes, American law says no, you can't just give a politician a bunch of money in order to do something for you. But if you do it like this, like that's the whole thing.
I think it's misconception, David.
Yeah.
People simplify lobbyism. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. If it would be that simple, it wouldn't be called lobbyism, it would be called direct corruption, but it's not.
That's why a lot of people do call it direct corruption.
Nah, it's simplifying things. No, it's just for simplicity. But it's not. It's much more complex. Okay, leave this now.
Okay.
What should the Governor Abbott gotta do, in your opinion, now?
Resign.
No, stop.
Well, resign. What do you mean? I think he should resign immediately.
That's not even funny.
You know what's not funny?
Thank you very much. Right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think you should resign immediately. I'm sorry. I thought. What do you want me to say? You should resign.
No. How to get out of the crisis and get Democratic representative back to the chamber?
They'll pass such ridiculous bills.
Come on. But they need to redraw districts. They have a president that got the request, and they want to help the president with that request. They have Michael Johnson, the House Speaker. He also won a more Republican majority in 2026.
Wow. So some of the two worst people in the government want this, so we should carry it out. Like Donald Trump and Michael Johnson, the two biggest bastions on government advice on how to run a country properly, are.
I don't think the country is not. I think country is run properly now. Country is run properly. You just cannot, since January, absorb what happened, but it happened. What's a democratic election process, and in this democratic election process, first on House elections on 2024, and the same day presidential elections, Trump won, and some Republicans remain
I don't
in
know
office.
why. I don't know why a lot of conservatives and Republicans will use the argument that they were elected democratically as a counter.
It's a will of nation.
Yes, they got elected democratically. I'm not denying this, and I'm not your party. I would never deny the election results.
Right.
Yeah,
but you would support undermining the Trump victory in 2017. But when I was talking to you that time, remember, on 2017, you said, "Let's see what happens, how it's gonna be." Yeah. I have that on record, by the way. So now,
so let's see what happens.
So listen, I don't think
saw what happens for the last 10 years almost, and I think I'm done. I don't want to see any more of this. I saw what happens. What do you want to hear?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really enjoying that conversation.
Yeah, me too.
So what we can see from this is there is no way out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a sad thing that our society is fragmented, divided, but I hope that they will be able to find a common language and compartmentalize the difference and work where they can work together and do not work and manage when they cannot work together, but it doesn't gonna bring any confrontation, real confrontation. Like we can manage our differences because we
Yeah.
obviously have them. On this nice, very nice and kind note, I would like to thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
And we're gonna talk after I come back, and probably by the end of August we're gonna bring another stream, like a couple of weeks. Thank you very much, Dave. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.